1 year ago today, perhaps the loudest political fight in the history of the state capitol. The Senate gallery was packed and all eyes were on one woman standing on the Senate floor. A filibuster against some of the toughest restrictions on abortion in the nation. While that moment made history and sparked a movement, the bill ultimately passed, impacting the health of thousands of women statewide. And women's rights groups now say lawmakers designed the measure to put abortion clinics out of business, but supporters of the legislation say it's only about protecting the life of a woman and a child. Here's a breakdown of that bill. It bans abortions after 20 weeks, the time when many believe a fetus first feels pain. All doctors performing abortions must have hospital privileges within 30 miles of the clinic. That is a major restriction in rural areas. Only a doctor may administer abortion-inducing drugs with protocols approved by the FDA. And perhaps the most challenging and certainly costliest part for clinics, they must all have an ambulatory surgical center. This bill has had several legal hurdles along the way. So far, coming out on top. Most recently, in March, a federal court upheld the remaining parts that were still challenged, but a new lawsuit is now in play. If nothing changes, though, the law will be in full effect this September. Shortly after it passed, we spoke with Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott. The Republican's office has been in charge of defending this law all along the way.
I've heard you in person.
I do think that the United States Supreme Court, which is where this case probably will wind up, can reconcile both Roe versus Wade and this law.
That fight has been a conservative highlight of Abbott's campaign for governor, and not surprisingly, his opponent is none other than the woman that filibuster boosted to Democratic stardom, Senator Wendy Davis. While many politicos consider Abbott the heir apparent, Davis has helped reignite her party tremendously. Democrats have not won a statewide office in Texas in 2 decades. Vying for the state's second highest post are 2 other familiar faces from that night, Democratic Senator Leticia Vandepute and Republican Senator Dan Patrick. And remember, September 1st is the date the full law goes into effect. Then you'll have the chance to weigh in on November 4th, the general election. And the people you put in office will head back to the Capitol on January 13th next year for the 84th Texas legislative session. You can check out our complete coverage of this issue in a special edition of State of Texas In Depth. That's online. The entire program is on KXAN.com. Just go to our homepage, click on the News tab, and scroll down to the political section.